Hello, everyone. This is Luke Hosinski, and you have reached Senior Talk US. To watch us live, I'm presuming you're watching us, but if you need to see how to get here, you go to YouTube @ Senior Talk US, all one word, and search on that. And then you can also search on the live shows. We should appear as a live show on your YouTube list of live shows. I think I might have said this. See, my memory goes so quickly. So quickly. My name is Luke Hosinski, and it's a delight to be here with you. Today's show is going to be more senior technology, and specifically, I'd like to talk about fraudulent emails. I'm sure you've all seen them. Maybe you're scared to death of them. Uh, it's kind of like if you get invaded by a colony of ants. Well, you know what to do. You reach for that ant spray and you try and wipe all of them out. And then you clean them up and you throw them away. But and hopefully you can find the source. So emails, spam or fraudulent emails are a lot like finding the source of ants invading your space. So, what's a scam email? Let's start with these emails. A scam or phishing email uh, looks real. It may tell you your account's been suspended, or you want a prize, or that someone has changed your credit card. And the the idea behind these phishing emails is they're trying to pull in, gosh, they don't want to pull in minnows. They want to pull in sea bass is what they want. They want to get a big one on the line. And that is to get you to enter your credit card information or your date of birth or your social security, all of these things. And they'll format the email to look real. They can post the same logos, the same spacing, the same font that a regular email from one of these entities uses. And you got to think, you got to think to yourself, you got to verify the authenticity. And this is what I hope to accomplish. Um, then you just think about the logic game. You see a known company and they're claiming to be that, and you should just ask yourself, why does this company that I go to, Google, PayPal, uh, Social Security Administration, why are they asking this of me? They should say, go to your account and find it. Now, that means there are links in the email. Those companies aren't going to do that because they know all about phishing. So they're never going to send you an email with a link. Never, ever, ever. Uh, Especially one that's going to spawn a new window on your browser or install some software. So, in the rare occurrence, they're just not, they're going to have you go and do something on their website where you feel comfortable that that's where you are. And so some of the most recent and common ones are Amazon or PayPal about suspicious purchases, or the post office or FedEx saying there's a package waiting. Medicare, Social Security, verify your identity. Boy, that's a big one. Never, ever verify your identity via an email. You have to go to the Social Security Administration, uh, login.gov. To get there, you got to go through a few hoops until you get to your real Social Security account. And then you can see if there's any real warnings on your account or things like that. So here is is what I'd like to start with. And I'm going to go to add stage to this one. And I'm going to identifying those emails. There I am. Okay. So I'm going to go a little further. Uh, the other one is in the text of the message. If it sounds unbelievable, it is. Uh, don't open an unexpected attachment. So, an attachment is where on the email, there's a little place down here. It might be an icon for PDF, for an Adobe uh, form, it might be a JPEG, it might be an executable, God forbid. If you've identified it as spam, you don't want to hold that pile of ants and have them, dancing around your hands and your arms. You make sure you get rid of it. You put on gloves, etc. So once you've identified that email, you want to delete it. Or when you delete it, may give add to junk file. I do that for sure. So watch out for suspicious links. Here's a good one. From our third world countries, they're not so good with the English language. They're bad speaking it, and they're often very poor spellers. So if there's a spelling mistake, there's a huge red flag. Hey, don't touch that. Urgent or threatening language. Your account is about to be closed. Something just sounds awful. Well, you don't. It's not there. Don't. You have to, like I said, identify who's telling me that I am about to lose my privileges on an account that I want. And how do they get your emails? Oh my gosh. It's they buy databases of emails, believe it or not, or often the account lists are stolen by hackers. And once the hacker gets it, he wants to distribute it. Some are malicious, some are out for money. Anyway, they hack and they maybe sell this database or give it to them. Would be the potential fisher. So that's how your email gets on the internet or as data for somebody that's bad. There are a number of services. I'm not going to make a recommendation. Go through my tried and true methods of looking at the ratings for that service to remove you from a list. It's actually a government, just like you have a no call list and most real telemarketers obey these things. If you ask to be removed, you'll be removed. And there's services that'll do that removal for every organization that they know of. And they'll get you off the both no call and no emails to them. Those services are pretty good. And they can search for your digital footprint in the bad parts of the dark web. See, explain this. What's the dark web? Well, it's actually all out on the global internet, but there's a type of describer of places, and if you have the right kind of browser, which is easily available, you can even get it from your app store. It's called I don't want to say, I'm not going to tell you what it is. But anyway, there's a browser that only looks on the dark web, and you can go through all those things. And that's where the bad guys lurk. So as long as you're using a name brand browser, Google Chrome, Apple Safari, DuckDuck, there's another one called Opera, which I haven't really used a lot. So those are well-known places that would allow you to browse the internet. Back to emails a little bit. So do not click, do not reply to it. If you have a chance to identify a junk mail, then certainly do that. But never respond to it, because that's really what they want. And a legitimate site is going to have the address do not reply at google.com or microsoft.com. That means we don't read your emails. Even if you sent one to here, it's going to be totally ignored or erased. So look for that name, and let's go back, add this to the stage. That name up here, let me make it bigger, doxy.me, google.me. You'll notice doxy.me does not want you to reply to the address because it has no dash reply. And that's a common email address for lots of companies. If it's tech support at google.com, then you can reply to tech support about a ticket or what have you. So no reply means there's no one that's going to read this email if you reply to it. Simple as that. Just, don't panic. Use your common sense. And I kind of get a kick out of identifying these emails. I want to see exactly what they are and things of that nature, and what kind of crazy thing that they're asking me to do. So you don't reply and you don't click links. Here's some simple habits. This is from chat, by the way. Use strong passwords or a password manager. I'm going to give a plug for an app called 1Password. I've used this app for over 20 years, and it always works. It doesn't give me any problems. And it's pretty cool because I should have a whole segment on how that works. But anyway, it stores your passwords, your user ID, your passwords, other things about a site, like, say, Google login. And you're able to easily create a name for that entry. I put in Google login. It'll have like login.google.com. Don't take that as the right place. And then a password. And you can type in some easy to remember password, which other people will try and have a program that goes in and tries multiple passwords. Or you can select on your screen, make a custom password, and it gives you the examples of those passwords. They're very long. You can make them between 8 and 30 characters long with a string that's alpha. You click for numeric, add those. Yeah, I want special symbols in there if the site accepts special symbols. And you'll have this gobbledygook of a password, which 1Password will enter every time you go to that site. And you click on the password field and you'll say, might show a key, might show already have the password there waiting for you, depending upon how they've done this. And they save that password. You don't have to type in 30 crazy characters. It fills it in for you. And if you get that app, and I believe now, it used to be you buy it once, and then if you want to upgrade to the next level, you'd purchase the upgrade. I think I'm at 1Password 8 or 9. And anyway, I had a call. But stop that. Okay. Anyway, 1Password, it's a great app. You don't have to remember passwords. You only have to remember the 1Password for 1Password app. And there's nobody that's going to get into your computer and try and hack your 1Password. So you can make it Aunt Jenny's lilies because she likes lilies or something like that. And then when you launch the app, you'd enter Oh yeah, it's Luke's account, and the password is uh, Aunt Jenny Lily, and then click, and there you go. And it will actually kind of keep you logged in for days and days if you want. Uh, 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 it works. It works. I'm not going to get into that. Um, Sometimes you want to turn in what's called two-factor authentication, and that's the thing where uh, once you do your user ID and password, it pops up a new screen says, I'm going to call you at your cell phone number. And you wait to get to your cell phone, you pick your cell phone up, or you go to that window if you're working on your cell phone, and you get the 6-digit code that they send. And then you go back to the login link and you enter that 6-digit code. So that's really, really pretty hardened security, because even if they know your name and your password, they're not going to have your phone. It's not, oh, you're not going to have your phone. So only you have your phone. So if they send the link to you, boom, it's really good. Um, so go through those, use your spam filters, uh, keep your computer and your phones and iPads, always go to the next release. In the old days, probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd have to wonder whether the new release did better than the one you're running on. These days, especially all these, major companies, when they issue a new release, Apple, Microsoft, those are the operating systems. You want to keep the operating systems, the iOS on your phone. You want to make sure you're current on the software release. And that's under the gear, the settings icon. And down there, it'll actually probably pop up. There's a new software for it. That's a bad thing to say, especially if you're talking to a lot of people and you stop. Anyway, the thing is, identify emails that you're suspicious, and what red flags are out there will raise your suspicion and choose you to do that. So it's pause, think about your situation there, verify what the email is, and then delete it, because you don't want to delete something that's got the tracking number for an order or something that's really up. So that's that particular scenario or chapter on email and spam/phishing. The other things that I wanted to talk to you about, there's one major, well, we talked about browsers. So you want to keep up to date on your browsers. Microsoft Windows, you want to make sure that the browser in Windows is Explorer, I think. Help me, Windows people. Yes, log in to Senior Talk US and join the discussion, because I appreciate your input. So anyway, browsers on Windows could be Explorer, could be Chrome from Google. I don't think the Microsoft Safari browser supports Windows. So those are the ones that you want to use. There's Opera, that's another one. And there are advantages to all of these different browsers, but just stay mainstream in your computing and your travels on the internet. If you're Apple, you've got Internet Explorer, and it can also run Chrome. I use Google Chrome. So I want to tell you about your digital footprint. Everywhere you go on the internet, little pieces of you are left and or stored in your browser's memory. It's called cache. You know, like an arms cache, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Food cache, you had a whole bunch of food. Well, your browser gobbles up all the information about where you've been on the internet. They all do that. So what you want to do is you want to sweep up and clean thoroughly your browsing data. Chrome should probably do a demonstration, but Chrome and all the major browsers, Internet Explorer, takes a couple of clicks. You go to their settings, and then it says clear cache or clear browsing data, and you do it there. Why I love the browser Duck, like quack, quack, duck, is, and you can get it at any of the app stores. It's rock solid, but one of the really nice things is up at the top, yeah, it'll have a little flame icon. And all you have to do is click that flame, and then it makes sure, it'll say, are you sure? Click it, and boom, you've swept up and thrown away all of your digital footprints. If you really want to make sure that you're clean, you'll go to your trash can and your junk files and maybe even whatever, and you'll delete all of those, or you'll empty the trash. And that way it's pretty darn off your computer. If you want to make it so that there's really no way to recover that data, because there are groups out there that if they have your computer, they can scour your disk drive and even recreate and recover that data. There are some products that'll really wipe your data out. So that's a bit about browsers. You need one of those to surf the internet and handle your email. So I'm going to really end our show on that. I hope this was somewhat useful to you. It's more for the beginners. I'm trying to convey technical knowledge in terms that you can understand, and just talk generally about technology. Wishing you just a wonderful Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday, and live long and prosper. So always a good term.